Okay, stampers, we're going to redo this video that I did yesterday. I'm trying a new setup again once today to see whether I can get a good angle so that you can see what I'm doing. Yesterday wasn't very good in that department. So we are, let me grab my sample card here. There's a sample card. Okay, I'm going to show you the lemonade card again today. I'm going to swap colors and not do the magenta this time, but this is the card that I'm going to work on. Let me see if I can give you more light. There, now you can see. That's the card we're going to work on. The jar, there are two jar sets now that both work with the punch. That's probably glaring, so I don't know exactly what angle to hold it at. But there's the jar punch that'll work with either jar set. You can purchase a bundle of the jar of flowers and the punch, and it's much cheaper than buying them separate. The jars are the same size, they just didn't have enough room on the front of this package to put all the pictures. So the jars are the same size. The only difference in the jar is this one has the reflection on it and this one's plain. But with the two combined sets, you can make endless cards and endless holidays. So I've put all the information on there if you're interested, and thank you to everybody that ordered yesterday. Your card kits will be on their way, and so will your order. What I'm doing is I'm doing a card kit for these lemonade cards. There'll be supplies pre-cut, pre-embossed, ready for you to make 4 of these cards. The only thing there won't be is I'm not allowed to stamp for you. Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow us to stamp for you. We can give you the card kit with all the supplies and the embossing pre-cut, but we're not allowed to stamp for you, so you will have to stamp your own. Okay, so I will be using the cardstock vellum, which is a lot heavier than the regular vellum. I'll be using pieces out of the Flowers for Every Season, the 6x6 cardstock, the designer series. I'll flip through it real quick for you. It's both sided. There's all kinds of florals and patterns in here. So I will be, whoops, there goes my little pieces. I will be using pieces out of this. And I will be using Misty Moonlight cardstock this time instead of the magenta for the background. So I've tried this setup in my crafting room. I've tried this setup in my dining room. And you are now in my kitchen because this is the best I figured out so far to get this to work. To get an angle where you can see what I'm doing. See how heavy this is instead of the flimsy vellum. Okay, now here's a quick tip on using the clear stamps on the blocks. As you see, this could really distort as you put it on the block. To solve that problem, you lay it face down on the paper and you lay your block on it. and then it doesn't distort it as you're putting it on the block. I'm using just the regular basic black ink. Now this is one of the older pads that I still have. Some of the newer ones are squishier, so you want to not tap on it maybe as hard as I am on this one. Make sure it's good and inked. You don't have to press hard with these. Just sit it down and lightly tap it. And there's your jar. Now while I've got the ink open, I'm going to just lay this back out where you can see it. I'm going to stamp our sentiment for the front. And again, you don't have to push hard, you just sit it down on there. And then I'm going to snip out to make it look like a banner. And that's ready. Okay, to punch out the jar. Feed it in the punch and line it up. There's your jar. Now you want to flip over your jar. You want to take your marker, the large size of your marker, which on our markers they are actually marked. That's what these lines are for. This tells you without opening that this is the thick end, this is the thin end. You want to lay your thick end down sideways. Now this time I'm doing this at an angle because I want to see how this works. If I'm going to tip my jar a little bit on the page, it makes it look like it's tipping when it's colored. Now you want to leave that sit for a few minutes. When you stamp on the vellum too, I didn't use StazOn, I used regular ink, so you want to let that sit aside a little bit before you punch it and work with it, just to make sure that the ink gets good and dry so you don't smudge it. And then I think we're ready to start putting this together. So I have just a piece of Whisper White cardstock folded already for the card. And I've already run this through the Big Shot and embossed a pattern. You could use any pattern that you wanted to on this. And like I said, in the kits when I send them, I will already have them embossed for you. Center that on your card. I'm using the sunflowers, which I did not trim yet. I'm using the sunflowers that have the same navy background. And we could have used, actually that side would be cute too, but I think I want the navy background on this one. So there's endless possibilities. Make sure my daisies are looking like they're up. Okay, now I just got regular paper straws. I think I ordered them from Walmart, but you can get party paper straws anywhere. And I cut the straws in half. Now when I assembled this, I did just slightly smush, if that's a word, the part that's going behind the jar. It'll still lift up the jar, which you want it to be dimensional, but it gives it a little bit of a flat surface to start adhering. And we'll be using mini glue dots. Now, I've seen people struggle with their glue dots. Here's a tip for glue dots. Don't try to pick the glue dot off. Put your item on the glue dot and it automatically picks it up. You want to put 2 glue dots on your straw. And you want to place your straw at an angle in your jar. And then I've already stamped the little lemon wedge, and if you can see, I've snipped it to the center. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the one corner of that snip. And I'm going to put it over the top edge of the jar. And I think I just did that backwards. I did. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, let's try this again. You want it to go this way so that it looks like the lemon wedge is in the jar. Okay, now you're going to put 3 more glue dots on the straw, one at each end and one in the middle. And then you want your jar slightly tipped and down over part of the banner with your words on it. Okay, and there you have it. And then you can use whatever sentiment you want on the inside. And don't forget to put your back stamp on the back and sign your name that you made the card. So hopefully this video turned out better than the last couple. I'm still working on it, so thanks for your patience. And I've listed all the supplies on here and the information about purchasing your kit. If you want to do the kit, there'll be 4 different color lemonade cards. There'll be $15 for the kit, or if you place a $35 order in August, I'll send you the kit. So thanks for being patient with my videos, and we'll try another one soon.